are the same t-shirt color as you guys today. So I thought I'll just like wear blue for the session. So yeah, I have been working at at this startup for a while, and I have been at RC as a open source contributor for about a year now. I was in GSOC last year, and I worked on the GitHub app with Singli and Rohan. They were like super cool mentors. Apart from that, I have made PRs to multiple RC projects. I'm currently going to be a mentor now for the Notion app and the GitHub PR uh, reminders app. So we'll be seeing like how do you build the RC app and what it actually is. So what and why? What are RC apps and why do we need them? So RC apps can help you add functionality on top of RC. They use the Rocket.Chat apps engine and the UI kit to render functionality, UI components, and functions. So it's super cool to add functionality to RC directly, and you don't actually have to change the real code base of RC, right? Like that, we have a huge code base in RC core, and you can just make changes by making an app to it, and that's the cool part about it. You can make use of uh, APIs from GitHub or Chat GPT, and like build cool things. So most platforms like Slack have pretty simple apps that you can build, but RC has a pretty good framework for it that Doug built. So thanks to him, we have the RC app engine right now, and we can actually build a lot of functionality using it. But it might be hard to start building something with RC apps because there was not much apps there out there earlier. But now we have a bunch of apps. We have a lot of code that's already out there for the apps that you can use. So we'll go step by step on how can you start building RC apps. So first you need to know the language. Learn TypeScript first. That's the main language that we use for building Rocket.Chat apps. So once you know the language, you'll know what code is already out there. You can read my app's code or like someone else's code to see what they have done, and like it is the way to go. Then there is a lot of documentation uh, that we have on this link. Uh, so this is very good. It will sort of help you out with the basics of an RC app, how RC app work inside RC, how the apps load, the app's loading states, which functions are used, how do you and like how can you build a basic RC app with basic functions. That's something that you can learn from this documentation, and it will be cool to read once you go through it. After that, you can browse the marketplace or GitHub for the apps that are already out there. You can see the apps that people have built and just play with the apps, see how they function, see the functionalities that they offer. And once you are comfortable with sort of loading RC apps, playing around with them, seeing what they do, the next step is to basically pick apps one by one from the marketplace or GitHub, and you can see their code bases. You can see the code uh, that they have written for specific functions to add specific functionality to their app, and you can learn from them. So the best way to learn while building a project a new framework is to basically see the code, fork the changes, make some code changes to it, see what your change does to the app's functionality, and how the app's behavior changes. So we have some apps I've mentioned that we built last year and were built over the past 2 years. And they have like pretty cool functionality. We have the app for GitHub, Polls app, Figma app, ClickUp app, So just go through their code bases on GitHub, see what they do, see how they function, see how they load states in Rocket.Chat, and like what they basically give to the users. And then once you're comfortable with that, so this is sort of like a backtracking thing. So once you know how apps work, after that you can learn more about the apps engine. So once you know how basic apps work, then you go more into depth, learn about the apps engine uh, from the primary documentation that we have. So last year when I started building the GitHub app, we didn't have much documentation on building complex features. So what Singly sort of told us, and like Rohan sir sort of told me to make one myself. So we have sort of built a proper documentation for each feature that we have built last year. So so you can actually go through the app, use features, and then go to the wiki and see how they were built. So that's the best way to learn how we build things and how we were blogged. So the wiki contains everything from where we were blogged, how we made changes, what did we do to make things better, and what could have been done, and like with the functions as well. Like we have code segments in there uh, that you can see. So once you know how the code works, what to place there, then you should be good to go with building a basic app, building basic functionality, calling API, using webhooks, doing every sort of crazy things. Now there's something I want to share. So building RC, especially you have to change the app and put it on the server again and again. So our contributor Kenneth built this thing called Thrust. It's not that famous yet among RC, but I have been using it for a while now. It's a project that he made all by himself with no sort of guidance from like near folks. So what Thrust does is that Thrust will help you build apps faster. Thrust will push the app to the server itself, and it will make it seem like building a React app. So it will just push the thing that you changed on its own. And we have already sort of uh, uh, used Thrust for a while now to see changes. So that's one thing you can do uh, to sort of be faster in building the app. Now, what can you actually do with RC apps? So the apps engine can help you call APIs. You can do basic authentication using 2.0. You can render UI elements from the code itself. You can use uh, uh, slash commands to add functionality and do different things. We have the option to use hooks as well. You can send messages and do all sorts of crazy things. You can store things in the app storage, and there are a lot of things that you can actually build by using the apps engine, and things can be pretty cool. So I will basically show what we could build last year and what others had. So Slack had a very basic app, and like uh, all the platforms out there that have chatting services had a pretty basic GitHub app, but we could build a lot of things. I would want to show like two features that we built that were pretty cool. So we built a lot of these features that we can see. We can sort of add new issues, CPR, search GitHub, do a bunch of things with the app. So I had like two features I wanted to show that we built. The first thing that we built were sharing things using GitHub. So what you can do with the app is you can just sort of use GitHub search functionality, and you can insert filters in the modal uh, for the issue, the resource that you want to have, the labels and the author. And once that is done, you will see a list. And we have the cool part over here. Once the list is out there, you can actually see multiple items. You can uh, add the ones you want to share, and you can just share uh, these at once. So you can see we can just do like a share over here, uh, and uh, they all get sort of tagged in a message, and you can just see all these links for the issues and PRs. So that's one thing we built last year. And the second thing that we built was PR reviews. We sort of added a code editor to our apps engine. The PR didn't get merged, but you could actually see the code changes in RC itself. So that's something you can build, and that was something that we thought was not possible, but we were able to build it. So there might be blockers while building apps, but you can sort of uh, over those blockers on your own. So you can see the PRs can come over here, and once you can see the file changes, you can see the changes, and you can just see the exact code changes in the app, and you can sort of see the PR, add comments to it, uh, review the PR, and sort of merge it as well from RC itself. So that was the second feature that was pretty cool that we built, and you can just like share it again. So yeah, so that's what I want to share. Sorry, yeah, this is my screen. Yeah, so we build a bunch of features. So building apps can be hard since you have a limit on the thing that you can use. The kit has certain uh, elements that you can use. You can't actually add uh, elements elements that easily, but we could do it. So it's not entirely uh, Im, uh, impossible to handle, but it can be done. And you will face places where there are functions you need, but they are not in the apps engine, right? And like uh, that's the thing that you can work towards. You can build functionality for the apps engine. You can add kit elements and sort of make it uh, easier for other developers out there. So that's what you can do while facing blockers. You can see our wiki and how we sort of uh, done we did certain things, and yeah. So that's the thing that we sort of wanted to do with the app that we built, and we could do it last year. So thanks. Any questions? I think that's my presentation.